Before we start the show, just a word from our sponsor, Undeniable Press. For all your screen printing needs, located in the Corktown district of Detroit, Michigan. If you ever need any t-shirts or any other little promo accessories, posters, or whatnot printed up for you, go to Undeniable Press. They're located, once again, in the Corktown district of Detroit, Michigan, and you can reach them at facebook.com/undeniablepressdetroit. And those same guys who do Undeniable Press also have a clothing line called 20 by 20 Apparel. It's very much wrestling themed, all sorts of nostalgic themes in regards to the history of wrestling. And you can go check out their clothing line at 20x20apparel.com. That's the number 20x, the number 20apparel.com. Now let's start the show.
Fresh is the word.
I'm Jim Duggan, got long wood for plenty hoes. I keep it fresher than fresh, but you already know. You suckers bummy, I'm money, I got a ton of flows. My weed loud like a motherfucking thunder roll. Your shit quiet like you ballin' on a budget though. We see your kicks and we laugh and yellin' what are those. You see me shining like a suit on puffy. You know my grindin' shit is too strong, buddy. That's why the dude call money. I be stuntin' like it's nothing at all. Cause it's nothing to me, it's probably something to y'all. Trying to smoke like me, then come and fuck with your dog. Got a closet full of kicks, you can't cop it them all. And I'm fresher than the freshest, you can tell it's in my essence. Bitch, you see the way I'm rapping, yes I do this shit to death. Until I'm running out of breath, or tell somebody cut a check. But either way you know it's fresh, and either way you know it's fresh. Fresh, we fresh. Fresh, 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 goddammit, we fresh.
Welcome to the Fresh is the Word podcast, the podcast about music, pro wrestling, and MMA. I am your host, K Fresh, and we have a great show, like always, for you. But before we get into the show, just want to remind you of a few things. If you want to support the podcast, you can always go to freshasthepodcast.com and share any of the links on there on any of your social media. And also, you can click on the Support the Podcast link at the top of the page, and there's a PayPal link that you can donate to. There's also an Amazon link that you can use anytime you want to make any purchases off of Amazon. It'll shoot back a little commission my way. You can also follow Fresh is the Word on Twitter and Instagram at FreshIsTheWord1. That's Fresh is the Word, then the number 1. And on Facebook at facebook.com/FreshIsThePodcast. And you can also subscribe to Fresh is the Word on all of the streaming platforms: Mixcloud, SoundCloud, TuneIn, Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher. Go to any of those, type in Fresh is the Word, and the podcast will come up. You can hit the subscribe button, give us a comment, give us a rating. 5 stars would be great, and that would help out the podcast so much. This week's guests are Alexa and Dane from the Los Angeles-based alternative pop duo HEIRSOUND. I just gotta say, I love HEIRSOUND. Ever since I got a press release for their first EP, Merge, I've just been in love with their music. Everything about them, just their look, their sound, their voices, it's very it's soothing, it's emotional, and I got to talk to them about it all. They're very cool. They have a new set of three volumes of an EP called Layers. They did a whole collection, and each volume signifies a different sort of emotion. So they broke it up into 3 volumes. So we talk about why and break down all their videos that they have for each of the volumes. So it was great to talk with them. And then afterwards, like always, I'll be joined with my co-host, Vstylez, and we'll talk about what's going on in the world of pro wrestling, MMA, and probably a little bit of music. So let's get to the interview with Dane and Alexa from HEIRSOUND.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for taking the time out to do this interview.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
Cool. Yeah, from the first time that I heard HEIRSOUND before the Merge EP came out, I was like, "Yo, this is dope. I love this duo. I love it."
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah,
that's awesome.
How did you two originally meet?
Oh gosh, it goes back kind of far now. I'm losing track of the years. Alexa and I met. God, I want to say like 5, if not more. Alexa, correct me if I'm wrong. But we met through a mutual friend. I've grown up in California my whole life, and her in New York, and we were just introduced through a mutual friend, kind of pretty much over the internet. This person kind of knew, we're both into music and in similar positions on different coasts, and just thought we would kind of appreciate what each other was doing. So we were introduced, and this person was correct. We definitely were kind of into each other's music, and just always kind of found common ground in music in general, and we kind of talk about that back and forth. And until we collabed, pretty much.
Yeah, we were like fans of each other's music from across the country. And then when it came time for there to be an opportunity for us to collaborate, I actually shot a music video for his band at the time. And then things just kind of progressed from there.
Yeah. That's a long story short for you.
Yeah.
Both of your voices are like, they're so unique to me. Like, I love the way both of you guys sound on record. They're both sort of soothing when I listen to the music, and they work well. They work so well together as you guys duel back and forth on your songs. Were you guys surprised at first on how well each of you guys were able to work together and how well it sounded?
I wasn't too surprised per se. I don't know.
I guess it was just like separately, we both were obviously like doing our own things, both singing in bands and whatnot, and we both liked what the other was doing. But it's definitely like kind of it took a moment for us to actually sing together. But when we did, it was definitely just like so natural and easy. Like it just felt like, okay, yeah, this is correct. This is very right.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's just like, there's learning curves with anything, but, we pushed through ours, because we had a lot of goals of what we were trying to write, but once we got there, it just really did feel natural, so.
Yeah, it definitely felt natural.
Looking back to your previous music endeavors, what is it about this project that makes it so special to you guys?
The one-on-one-ness for me, I think it's, to have two people who generally see eye to eye on so many things, and that main thing being music and all we put into it. So it's just nice to have literally just her and I bounce ideas off each other, and it's just a good way to communicate, I think.
Yeah, I think in our other bands it's been like a lot of members and stuff like that, a lot of people, and with this it was basically just came down to me and Dane, and that's it, just the two of us. So that was definitely a more like intimate writing experience, which was kind of different than what both of us were used to. And I think with that, it just became really easy to like go all in and put like both of us, everything we had to offer together.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, when you when Hair Sound, finally started to feel natural to you guys, once you got through like the sort of learning curve, what were sort of like the goals of this project? What did you want to what do you want to result from it?
Well, I mean, I guess it's, for lack of like, genre names and all that stuff, it's like we just love music so much and just listen to so many different things, it's like we just really ultimately are like, we just want to try and make what we like, the best kind of music like we can, just whatever we would like, whatever we can do to mix all the things we love and just create something that is kind of its own thing, that, just our favorite type of music, whatever we could do to make that. I think that was a main goal. But I
mean, definitely being able to just not be confined by a specific genre of music when we went to write. I mean, that was the biggest goal, just to be like, okay, what do we want this project to sound like? Well, we sat down and we're like, well, I listen to so many different things that I mean, and we both get into so many different moods that how can we write the same kind of song like over and over? That's really not like, I didn't feel like the right way to go about things. So I think our like biggest goal was to write music that was emotionally what we kind of needed to write, but at the same time making something that was kind of genreless, I guess. Just whatever we felt like making, we make, and that's the way we're going to go about it,
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, that's the one thing I did notice from the jump, and definitely with the new Layers EP collection was that it kind of went a little bit everywhere. You guys kind of swim through a lot of different influences, but at the same time, it all kind of worked and never was a departure from anything that you ever did. You know,
Right.
like some of the songs.
Well, I guess that's part of the goal. No, I was just gonna say that's cool to hear. So I appreciate that. Yeah, because that's like definitely part of the goal early on. Is like, yes, we want to make it be cohesive as well while blending so many things. So that's cool.
Yeah, some of the songs could fit in with like modern rap music as much as electronic music and pop music. It all kind of is very just so loose, and that's what I loved about it. As soon as I heard it, it was like, this is very, I like it. It's very loose, and it just like it feels fresh, like it's fresh air. You know, the fresh air of music.
Well, I think we appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, definitely, man.
All right now you're in the middle of releasing these 3-volume, 4-song EPs titled Layers. You know, what was sort of the idea behind this?
Well,
I mean, I feel like it's been like, I guess 2 years in the making at this point, of these songs. So like in those 2 years, as life does, things happen, and you know, people come and go, and you go through conflicts, and you meet new people, and you can, you know, get into new relationships, fall in love. All this stuff happened over 2 years. And so as we started to put all the songs into a pile of like, okay, what's our next album going to be? It started to become like pretty clear that we had written 3 different types of songs, like sonically. So, you know, we started to like write them out and realize, okay, let's just separate them into these 3 categories. And originally we thought, yeah, we'll release an album. But then as we like saw the categories like arrive more and more, we're like, you know what? I think this is like 3 EPs, because realistically, like, they did it themselves. Like they organized themselves, and then we were like, we just rolled with it. So we went with what the songs wanted.
Yeah, they really did organize themselves, it seemed like, over time. And like, you know, we're thinking, you know, we're an independent band, like maybe we wouldn't have the opportunity to release any type of, you know, content in this way of just like, you know, completely doing it the way we want, like this, just giving all the new music out to the world. And I think it's been kind of cool and fulfilling to do it this way. But yeah, it just wound up being this mood separation that made most sense. So
right, and then with that, like, we just started to elaborate on, you know, artwork and concepts behind like the 3 EPs and what each one of them kind of means to us, and the content of the songs in each EP. Like it's a very much like it progresses naturally how it did over the past 2 years, you know, starting with the earlier songs on the first EP and then making their way down to the 3rd one, where you can kind of hear like the whole journey of emotions that we go through, and we arrive at a place that feels conclusive and good, you know?
Yeah.
When you kind of put all these 3 volumes of Layers together, what do you think it signifies?
It signifies just the whole journey, you know, from start to finish. And we definitely want and encourage people to listen to all 3 EPs in a row, because it's no accident that they go together the way that they do.
Yeah, I think that was definitely a big part of it early on. And we do, you know, we're putting it out the way we are for a reason, you know, sanctioning them off and giving the moods, the separate moods, like a minute to kind of marinate. But, you know, we do look at it like a full, you know, record, if you will, or like just a whole piece.
Yeah, it's definitely one piece. Right.
How would you kind of sort of signify your previous EP, Merge, in context to the 3 volumes of Layers?
Well,
good foot to step out on. Yeah, sorry. It was a good foot to step out on. I don't know. It's like we just knew that kind of no matter what, you know, we wrote so many songs early on, and like I said about the trial and error, and it's like when we got to the 6 songs that made up Merge, that was our, you know, time of, okay, wow, this is what feels natural and feels right. And at the same time, now we're here with the Layer stuff, and I feel like we're kind of getting to this point where, you know, the goals we had early on are really realizing themselves. And not that Merge didn't do that, but we just kind of knew it would be introductory, and it felt like a great intro to us, and I just know we're always going to develop. So that's my thought.
Yeah, I just, with Merge, like even titling it Merge was basically to symbolize Dane and I together, like coming together and starting a new project, and him coming from California, me being from New York, us merging together and creating our first piece of art together. And that will always be, you know, the first thing that we've ever done together as a duo, as HEIRSOUND, and that will always be, you know, the root of everything.
Oh, yeah.
I felt like, in comparison to the music on Layers, in comparison to Merge, like there's a bit of, a little bit more extroverted in many different ways, whether it's emotionally or just energetically. Do you feel that there was a difference in that sort of context with this latest material?
Yes and no. I think Merge was definitely a little bit more subtle when it came to like saying specific things about topics. And with Layers, you can definitely hear kind of a filter is taken off with certain things. But I guess when you compare the two, yeah, it's a little bit more extroverted in Layers.
Yeah, but again, that's part of that. I think we knew that going.
Yeah, we definitely did.
Yeah, especially since the whole mood section off is pretty apparent whether we advertise it that way or not. But it's just kind of meant to take you there, and those are the things we were feeling. So I think we kind of knew that we wouldn't hold back.
Yeah, we definitely just decided that there was going to be no filter on Layers, and we wanted to get a little bit more vulnerable with our fans, and so they could kind of just be a little bit more clued in to us and what we write about.
Yeah.
On the EP Merge, you made videos for each song, and then this time around, for each volume of Layers, you have a video for one of the songs. What's the motivation of having this strong visual representation for your music?
Well, I feel like I do a lot of video stuff in general ever since I was a kid, just making, videos for my family when we would go on vacation or we would have a holiday. I would always have a camera and like kind of make a little 5-minute video of the day, and that was always like my fun thing to do. So naturally, like being in a band and making music, I feel like visual is such an important tool to the music. It's almost like, to me, it's just as important as the music itself. It's like the combination is really important, and we both feel like it's almost like a given. Like we would like to do as many videos as humanly possible for every song that we write, because we see these things in our heads as we write and as we listen. So if I can kind of bring that to life for fans and people that are listening, that to me is a really beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that reminds me of I remember in this one interview, Grimes said that she said something to a point where sometimes she feels like she just makes music just so she can make a video for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're not.
That's exactly how I feel. Right, completely.
All right, let's talk about the newer videos that you've had for Layers. What's the song Proud about, and how does the video tell its story?
Well, without going into too much specific detail, I mean, Proud is really just about a time where, a friend just kind of turned out to be not a person in our lives, turned out to, be not what we thought they were. And I guess you could kind of say we found out the hard way. And it's just really like, taking those specific experiences and, just turning negatives into a positive, I guess, like that, it's just really just looking back on a situation that hurt and was negative and kind of laughing at it and just moving on in that regard. And
well, I think what's interesting is that at the time when we wrote the song, maybe our feelings were a little bit more fresh with like the hurt feeling. And so obviously the lyrics speak for themselves. We're pretty upset, like pissed off. And then as time went on and it came time to do a music video, it felt like so old at that point that, how can we make a music video that feels how we feel now? And then that's why we decided to go kind of more sarcastic, funny way, because it's like looking back, what, was that really the end of the world? No, let's just have fun and like make a video. So that's again like one of the cool things about the audio visual combination is that you can feel something and write something in the beginning, and then as time goes by and it's time for a video for said song, you can kind of portray your new emotion about the song, and then together it's kind of more multimedia, and that's really sick.
Right.
Yeah. ultimately the video for the song just ended up matching up the overall mood of it anyway. So it made sense that the time went by and we got time to get a fresh perspective on it too.
Right.
Now, what about Lacuna? You know, what was that song about, and how does that video kind of match the song?
So Lacuna is about essentially meeting somebody and, you know, that initial connection where you feel like you've known that person in the past life. And me and Dane both really enjoy and love the movie Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Yeah.
So we kind of pulled some inspiration from that movie because it deals a lot with, you know, erasing someone from your mind and then meeting them again. And, you know, when I wrote this song, it kind of felt like the person that I was writing about, I would say, you know, it really feels like I erased you from my mind and I'm meeting you again. That's the only way I could describe the feeling of knowing this person. And so we started to write the song, and it just started to feel right to have a little bit of a, you know, a reference to the movie. And so the music video reflects quite a few little pieces from that movie. If people ever decide to compare, I think they'll see what we mean.
And what about Heaven With You? That's a very emotional song. Emotional video is attached to it. You know, tell a story about that song.
So Heaven With You was originally a poem, and we kind of just started to jam with it. And I think structurally, as a song, it's kind of the most outside the box. It's like 3, you know, stanzas, I guess, of the poem. And we put it to music, and it felt really right. And then I think it's very much a conclusion, and that's why it's on the 3rd EP, and it touches on like a narrative that's been going through layers since the first EP, and it is definitely like a conclusion to some of the more angry feelings that were before, and that's why it is so emotional. And the music video is very simple, and that was how we wanted it to be, because that song is definitely just a reflective moment where you sit down and, you know, you feel it out and you cry it out, and then, you know, you have that beautiful moment where that's it, just sitting in my room. And that's what we wanted to portray with the music video, just to have people see a really intimate look at like how that felt.
Yeah, everyone has those moods, so whatever we could do to portray that.
Yeah, very just straightforward, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think with the 3 videos that you did for Layers, do you think that was a good representation of the full body of work in a visual aspect?
I do, yeah, I do. Honestly, it's like, you know, you take them out of context and they really match up, you know, the volume that they're connected to, and I just
right.
You know, it's being that there are 3, and then, you know, coming from each one, I think it really does showcase what you're getting out of each volume. I think it makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, mood-wise, it's like all 3 of the music videos correspond to each EP in the way that we definitely set out to do. We carefully planned out what each one of these music videos was going to be, and making sure that the overall aura and mood of them matches the content and the lyrical things of each EP.
I've noticed, you know, ever since you guys started this project, there's been like a lot of the color white in the aesthetic of your visuals. You know, what's the purpose behind that?
You know, the white thing is like, you know, what everything, especially early on, is just very color oriented. Merch was very just, you know, had a color theme for each thing, and I think originally, you know, well, minimal is just like a thing that we enjoy. Minimal aesthetic, minimal, all kinds of things, and I think that is something that played a big part into it, of just kind of not, you know, I know white is a big, something that pops visually, but at the same time, I don't think we were coming at it like we want to pop as much as we want to blend in with all the other aesthetics kind of in the content that we create, you know? It kind of felt like something that we were making ourselves part of whatever other visual we're creating.
Yeah, it just kind of makes it feel more like white is more of a blank canvas to me than having more of a darker black aesthetic. Like for us, just having that neutral white, like blank slate, we can put whatever colors on top of it, and it felt like the right base for this project.
Yeah, like a backdrop even.
Yeah, right.
Right. What was the sort of recording process like for Layers? You know, what did you work with any producers to make this music?
So we recorded with a guy named Bob Curtin, and he's actually an old buddy of mine who I've been, you know, recording with pretty much my whole life, or my whole musical kind of career, I guess. Once I moved out to New York, and Alexa and I were doing things a couple of years back with like Love Robot and stuff, I introduced them, and he ended up doing some mixes. And he's just been a buddy of mine for a really long time, and recording local bands, but he's made his way up, and he's, you know, working at Warner now and all that stuff, and he's just like a really great guy. So Alexa and I do, I want to say, mainly produce all our stuff. You know, we demo everything out and then bring it into the studio, and Bob at that point, you know, he's engineering and working with us, and he's just really a great energy to bounce ideas off of, and he's really knowledgeable of you know, cool sounds that we can, you know, either get from scratch or you know, elaborate on the ones we already have. So he does help us produce, and he's just an old buddy. So, you know, he really helped us out with this one.
Yeah, we finally had a chance to work with him with a full collection of music, which I had never done before. So it was cool. And actually moved out to California, so now we're both here, and we figured it would only be right to start this new chapter with him. It felt really good.
It felt really
He did a great job.
What did you, what did you kind of learn during that recording process working with him?
I think we definitely kind of figured out a little bit more of how to go about getting the sounds that we want. I know a lot of the things that we incorporated on Layers, although they may sound different from Merge, these are things that we wanted since before Merge, but we just didn't quite know how to you know, execute. So
that's the learning curve, and that's like why it feels so good to be where we are, because it's like Merge was a great intro, and now this is the next thing, and it's like this is what we wanted, you know, sonically. So it's a step in the right direction for us, and it's pretty cool.
Being that you have you know, Layers all done, you know, do you have any ideas of what you want to do next?
I know we want to practice and play some shows. Play some live music, I think.
Right.
Cool.
It's as kind of old as these songs are. I don't want to say old, but it's been, like I said, 2 years of writing. There's still a lot of time, I think, left for the world to experience them, because I guess everything's new to them. So I really want to get that out there and have everybody sit with it and, you know, relate to it, and we're gonna start practicing and playing some shows.
Exactly.
How do you feel about you know, sort of transferring these songs into a live set? You know, how do you go about that?
Well, this is going to be interesting as well. You're catching us at a time where we're literally on the cusp of about to hibernate a little bit into the world of practicing again, since we haven't played. We've been, you know, just been focusing so much on Layers and recording and finishing.
And we like had a big move from across the country.
Yeah, we moved across the country, all that stuff. So, you know, now that everything's kind of coming out, we're kind of gearing up to you know, start practicing again and figuring all that out, and that comes with a lot of bouncing individual like stems from the tracks we recorded and loading the sounds into new pieces of gear, and you know, so there might be a few steps of learning curves here too, but you know,
we're excited to get into it.
Super excited.
When you're not working on any music, you know, what do you guys do in your leisure time? You know, what do you guys kind of do to decompress?
Well,
we play a lot of Mario Kart.
We play some Mario Kart, honestly, man. That's it. Nothing. I've instilled my love for Nintendo onto Alexa as much as I possibly can in the last few years. It's just something that's never really left me, and she used to make fun of me all the time, and now here we are playing Mario Kart all the time. So that's always cool. We like to wind down with stuff like that.
You know.
We're kind of relaxed people. I don't know. We're always together also, so we're just goofing off.
Yeah, generally just hanging, Netflixing, all that stuff.
Netflixing, yeah.
How's it been, you know, making this move to Los Angeles, Alexa?
It's been very interesting, I have to say. There was a lot of stress beforehand because I am just a ball of stress, and I'm a very big control freak. So I had to make sure I had everything in order, all my lists, all my everything, and it was definitely a tumultuous time. it was a time, But I have to say, the second I actually got here, it was like, okay, I can breathe. I'm here. I did it, and we found a great apartment, and I'm just loving the weather. It's really wonderful here.
I'll say this: she hasn't complained once. So.
Oh, that's good. That's
good for her. I'm proud of her.
That's great. That's great. Well, I won't hold you guys up anymore. Thanks for chatting with me. If anybody wants to check out HEIRSOUND online, where can they go?
Yeah, HEIRSOUND.com. That's got everything on it. All of our socials are on there and whatnot too.
Okay.
Everything is at HEIRSOUND. So Twitter, Facebook, everything. Okay,
cool. All right, it's been great talking with you, Alexa and Dane. Have a nice day and good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
So that was my interview with Alexa and Dane of HEIRSOUND. Please go support them. Go pick up that collection of EPs, the Layers collection. It's on iTunes right now. Go support them. It's really good music. And now, like always, I'm joined with my co-host, Detroit hip-hop artist, MMA and pro wrestling connoisseur, and proud Marine Vstylez. What up?
What's going? What's going on? Okay, Fresh, right?
Yeah, man. How you doing?
Taking it one day at a time. You know how I get down, man. Just looking at the same shit that everybody else is looking at and hearing about, and let's just say in pugilism times today is some people look at it as a good day, some people look at it as a bad day, but I think overall, it's a spectacle that people may want to see, and I'm talking about Floyd and Conor.
Yep, that's the big news today as we record that. Looks like everything is set. August 26th, Las Vegas, Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor, and it's a spectacle. It's going to be something that's going to be this is going to be one of those things that casual fans of MMA, casual fans of boxing, and casual fans of everything going to have their expert opinion about for the next 2.5 months.
Oh yeah, we got some experts out there.
Man, the experts just came out like in full force today. Now that everything's official.
Oh man, Conor's gonna knock him out. Oh, I can't wait till Conor kicks his ass. Oh, I can't wait.
Really? Oh, Floyd Mayweather is just a dancer. He just dances around the ring. He just runs from everybody.
And look, when I hear that shit, it'll be like he runs.
No,
he must have never seen Muhammad Ali fight.
He's doing the thing that boxers need to do the most: not get hit. Not get hit.
That's the weirdest shit in the world. Like, people want another man or another woman to stand in front of another man or another woman to let them purposely hit them as hard as they possibly can, and then come back with another punch from the other on another end from the other fighter. This is not rock'em sock'em robots.
Right.
It's boxing. It is pugilism. It is the art of hitting and not getting hit. Floyd does it better than anybody. When you're talking about defense, he's arguably the greatest defensive fighter of all time. And James Toney is, James Toney in his prime. James Toney's my favorite boxer. His defense was second to none. But and him and Floyd, they have similar, defensive tactics, man. They're gonna roll that shoulder, and they're gonna counter each time. They're gonna wait on you to do something stupid, and they're gonna counter. Floyd defense is just ridiculous. If Canelo couldn't hit him, if Sugar Shane Mosley got one. I think that's the most solid blow I've seen Floyd take really in his career. But Floyd has been able to be successful for one reason, and one reason only at this age. He has taken minimal damage. And if you don't believe that's an art form, shame on you. Because, like I said, it's the art of hitting and not getting hit. And when you can stand in a pocket, see a person throwing a certain punch at you, you move ever so swift to either the left or right side. And then you give one of your own because you're countering that person. There's not a man on the planet that does that better. So
right.
I don't know what Conor's going to do. I don't know what, I know 48, 49 other guys had plans and it didn't happen. It didn't happen for him. I just don't see any way. Mo said something earlier that I'm like, yeah, that could possibly happen, but even if that happened, he still could beat him at softball. He said, well, if Floyd gets hurt during the fight, anything can happen. I just don't see, I don't see how Conor really has a shot. Now, kudos for him for getting the biggest paycheck that he's, going to ever be getting.
Right.
He probably never fights again after this, or he may fight one more time on the biggest pay-per-view of the year for UFC, which is the year-end pay-per-view. Sure, he'll be headlining because of who he is. And if that does happen, I can almost guarantee you that it'll be Nate Diaz Part 3. Because you're not going to go from making the type of money that you're making right now with Floyd Mayweather to making the money that you was making before. Right. The only fight that makes sense, and I'm saying it right now, June 14th, the only fight that makes sense for him after Floyd Mayweather is the third showdown between him and Nate. That's the fight the fans want to see. That's the fight that will generate the most interest, and that's definitely the most fight that's the fight that'll get him the most money. So as far as MMA is concerned right now. And it makes sense. Right.
Yeah, he's gonna make a shitload of money on this Mayweather fight.
His next two fights, he's gonna be set. He's set anyway. Dude made the Forbes list.
Yeah.
For athletes, so he's set on that end. So just imagine you banking $100 million, and then you go fight Nate for maybe another, because Conor is different. He probably have another, when it's all said and done, he get another on the low end or on the high end, $30-40 million.
Right.
For that fight. With the pay-per-views and all buys and and all that, man. But yeah, Conor is on a whole nother plateau when you're talking about money. It's so sad, though, that some of these fighters are only getting $2,500, from Reebok. What does that say about who you're paying attention to in your company? You got Conor, again, I'm happy for him, about to make all this bread, and some of your fighters can't even pay their damn bills. That's a damn shame. But that's another story.
Right. Yeah, we've talked about that a lot, and it's still the one of the biggest topics in MMA is fighter pay, and that's a crazy topic. But no, Conor's about to just bank on this, and it's like
you can't hate on that man. Look, I've sat and thought about this. If it was you, if it was me, if we were in that position, we would do the exact same thing.
Yeah. And
you know what I'm saying? That's a lot of bread, bro, to be like, fuck that, And
everything that he said he was going to do, he's done. So he's made happen, at least. I'm not sure if he's going to, come out victorious on this so-called fight, but at least he made the fight happen.
You should even say, I'm not for sure. I'm sure that he's not going to come. You just don't, and again, and that's not to even clown McGregor on his skill set, because it's not about that. But it's just like, how do I? Okay, you got Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
Then you go get Adrian Peterson from the NFL. You say, hey, Adrian, race Usain Bolt in 100 mile and 100 meters. Who's going to win that?
Oh, definitely Bolt's going to win that.
Bolt's going to win that because that's his area of expertise. No matter how fast Adrian Peterson is on that football field, he's no Usain Bolt. And the same thing if you reverse roles. You put Usain Bolt on that football field, will he be able to do the things that Adrian Peterson does? Probably not, because there's physicality involved and you're going to get hit. So if this was an MMA sanctioned fight, then all my chips would be on Conor McGregor. But we're talking about boxing. We're talking about two dudes putting gloves on, throwing a left and a right, and keeping it moving. Since I can remember, nobody has done it, on a higher level than what Floyd has, for the longest. One of my favorite fighters of all time is Diego Corrales. And I was always a Floyd fan. But Diego Corrales at this particular time was running through people. People were scared to fight Diego Corrales. When Floyd fought Diego Corrales, again, I was a Floyd fan, but Diego was my guy.
Right.
So much that I gave my son the middle name Diego because of two reasons. Because of Diego Corrales and the San Diego Chargers. Rest in peace to my San Diego Chargers. But Diego will forever be, in my household because I gave my son that middle name.
Right.
Floyd blitzed Diego Corrales, man. And that was when I opened my eyes and said, wow, this kid is really that good. And I've been a fan ever since. I watched him make dudes on Murderer's Row just look bad. I think fight goes 7-8 rounds, Floyd, by knockout, of course. And I also think it's going to be worse than what he did to Arturo Gatti. Arturo Gatti was a tough dude.
Right.
He had a certain type of skill set. I just don't see, I don't see what what some people see. I don't fucking, what I hear whenever somebody say Conor got a chance against Floyd Mayweather?
What's that?
I hear Vince McMahon's music. No chance. No chance in hell. That's where you got. No chance. Ain't no chance. There's no chance. I don't see it. It would be dope. It would be dope if Triple H walked him out to the ring again.
Dude, that would be.
Yeah, man. But salute to Conor though, because he about to get that bread. At the end of the day, he getting his money for him and his family, and him and his son, newborn son. They can go off in the sunset, man. Like I said, have one more fight in UFC and call it quits. So good for him. People want to say, "Oh, it's bad for boxing." I bet you, Oscar De La Hoya if Oscar De La Hoya could have put this same fight together,
Oh, he
he
would
would have did it.
Oh, yeah. And look, this year,
So
Boxy's having a good year with the fights that's going on. Definitely much better than last year. So this is not going to ruin what's already been going on and what's going to continue to go on in boxing this year.
yeah, I just think, let's see, hold on. Yeah, see, everybody that knows me know that this shit gonna be murder. Yeah, boxing is definitely it's having a good year, man. I'm happy. You know, I wish we had an American fighter that I really believed in. I mean, I like Deontay Wilder, but you know, he's not what he, in my opinion, he's not what he really thinks he is, man. Till he shows me some balance, he's suspect to get knocked out by somebody like a Klitschko or Anthony Joshua or somebody that has a skill set. Anybody can look like a beast when you beating bums. You know, like Mr. Lebowski say, the bums will always lose. So when you fighting bums, you gonna get W's. You know, fight somebody on your level or greater than you, and find out what your skill set. It's just like me. You know, certain people, when I get on records with them, you know, I already have a certain way of how I feel about this person or these people as artists.
Yeah.
All I can do is just try to control what I do, and it comes out a certain way. You know, to me, Deontay Wilder doesn't even try to, you know, he fights bums, you know. So until he fights somebody that I feel like is equal substance, then he'll be second tier to Joshua and Klitschko. But this is definitely a great year for boxing. Yeah, I don't want to see Floyd get his 50th win like this.
Right.
Hell,
it's kind of a weird way to get your 50th.
Yeah, how do you celebrate that?
It's a spectacle. It's like a sideshow. It's like this is like more like,
it's not a fight.
This is more like sports entertainment than an actual fight. You know, this is sports entertainment.
This is WWE all day.
This is WrestleMania.
If you think, let's see for this. Yeah, I'm looking at Andreas Hale right now. He says, for the next 10 weeks, I got to listen to people explain how an MMA fighter who has never boxed will beat one of the greatest boxers ever.
Right.
And that's so real. Like, and the thing is, you have dumb ass. Look, I think, you know, for us that get it, yeah, but it has to be frustrating for us. And I'm talking about the ones that really get it.
Right.
It's frustrating to hear dummies talk about shit that they have no fucking clue about. Like, no diss to women. I love women. But you're going to have that woman that's going to say, oh, Conor's going to win. Okay, why do you think Conor's going to win? Because. And it's like they stop at the because. Because what? You can't tell me nothing else after that because you stuck on this, what you think Conor can do.
Or what about your boy? What about your boy Skip Bayless?
Man, you know, that's a whole nother conversation within itself, man. That motherfucker, man, he don't like Floyd. But then again, you know, my boy said something else about Skip that I never thought about. Maybe Skip and Floyd is cool. Maybe they cool. Skip always goes against Floyd.
Yeah.
He never says he's going to lose or anything like that, but he always goes against Floyd. Like, why? Is it because you're trying to hype up? Like, it's an angle. It got to be an angle. It got to be a backroom angle when it comes to Skip Bayless always talking about Floyd going to lose, because history shows that you're wrong 100% of the time when it comes to talking about Floyd
to work
losing.
with him.
You know, so where do you get your shit from? And it's like, yeah, he got to be doing this shit. Like, is he getting paid to say this whole ass shit? Because, like, are you fucking kidding me? No fucking way, man. No way at all. Yeah. It's gonna be a long 10 weeks, man. I feel
right.
You know, like I said, I'm happy and sad at the same time.
Yeah, I just wish I wish it could be sooner, man, or just as soon as possible, just so get it over and done with. Because we've been hearing about this for forever now. I literally can't remember a time when we weren't talking about this spectacle of a fight. All right, turning into the actual world of MMA, UFC's going to be holding a fight night this weekend on the 17th in Singapore, headlined by Holly Holm versus Bethe Correia. Who do you think is going to come out on top on that? Because Holly Holm needs this win, man.
You know, damn the fighting. Just damn the fighting for a minute when it comes to them two. They both had pretty booties. So, as my man Walter would say, am I wrong? Am I wrong?
No, you're not
wrong. They have pretty booties. So the first thing I want to see the weigh-ins. The weigh-ins, because, you know, even though Beth's face is a disgrace, her booty is, man, made me put on skates like I was Tootie. Man. And Holly Holm, you know, I picked you, Holly Holm, to be Ronda Rousey. You made me a genius that day, Holly Holm. I like Holly Holm too. This is a pick'em fight. Holly Holm is on a 3-fight losing streak. Beth won her last fight. This is a pick'em fight for me. I don't know who wins. I just want to see great booty. Yeah.
You know what? Somebody I forget where I heard it, but somebody made a good point about Holly Holm. In comparison to other women fighters from previous champs or whatever. You had someone like Ronda Rousey, first loss, she walks away. Gina Carano, first loss, walks away. She's on a 3-fight losing streak, and she still wants to get in there and make that shit right. So there's a lot to be said about that. Yeah.
She's a fighter. And most importantly, I do respect Holly Holm. You know, she is on a 3-fight losing streak, but she getting back up on that horse each time, man, and saying, bring them on. So you got to respect that no matter what. And, hell, you know what? I want to see Holly Holm win. I want to see both their pretty booties, but I want to see Holly Holm win. Hopefully she can win, you know, with that kick that made her famous. You know? Yeah. Who's else on that card?
You got Andrei Arlovsky versus Marcin Tybura.
Oh, my man. The motherfucking Andrei Arlovsky on the fight?
Yeah.
On the card?
Yeah.
I fucks with Andrei. I like Andrei. Who's the dude he's fighting?
Marcin Tybura.
Okay, well, Lando about to Google this. Hold on just a second here. Let's see. Andrei Arlovsky. Oh, damn, this dude, he looks like a killer. Hold on a second. Have you seen his face?
Who?
Marcin Tybura.
Yeah, I'm looking at him right now, man. He looks like he could
It looks like he got a Jason Voorhees mask in his locker. I don't know what picture you looking at, but I'm looking at another picture where he just looks kind of demented in the cage. Where he's
I'm just looking at the official,
like
the official UFC.com picture. Where he's
oh
probably...
no, I ain't looking at that. But I'm looking at a whole nother picture. Like, okay, I'm not even hip to this dude. Okay, so War Arlovsky. I'm saying that now. War Arlovsky. I fucks with Arlovsky. Does he call himself the Pit Bull?
Yeah.
Yeah. He still wear the fangs, right?
I'm not sure if he's still wearing the fangs, but...
Yeah, he does. His mouthpiece look like fangs. You got to see it whenever you see him, like, you know, open his mouth, you see I call them fangs because he looked like Dracula.
Right.
Know? Yeah, I'm an Arlovsky fan. I fucks with Arlovsky. I'll never forget getting that pay-per-view that what was the name of that clothing company that came out, and they still make clothes to this day for MMA fighters. Help me out.
What the
Affliction?
Affliction.
Yeah. Affliction had an MMA card. Their first annual card featured Andre the Pitbull Arlovsky versus Fedor Emelianenko.
Oh.
Okay? Now, Arlovsky was winning this fight. And all of a sudden, he jumped up in the air, went for a punch, or he jumped up and went for a knee, I believe. And it was like Fedor was waiting on him to come down. And as he jumped up in the air, Fedor punched him mid-air.
Ooh.
And knocked him out while he was in the air. And all you seen was his body crumbling down. You seen his body crumbling in the air, coming down to the mat, and the fight was over.
Ooh.
I'll never forget that shit. Never forget that shit. I was like, wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a little mad, man. I'm supposed to be in New York right now, man. My boys we supposed to be getting ready for Ryan Bader right now, man. But it didn't work out that way, so it is what it is. We need to get together next week, man. Watch these Bellator pay-per-views.
Yeah, that day I gotta I'm DJing my friend's wedding that day, but I think it's earlier in the day and evening. So I think by the time the end of the the prelims into the pay-per-view comes, I'd probably be free. I'll hit you up.
Yeah, let's get it, man. We need to do that.
Yeah, definitely. This past weekend, what'd you think about the Derrick Lewis Mark Hunt fight? Mark Hunt gets the TKO in the 4th round. He kind of he was sort of what's the word, patient throughout that whole fight, and didn't just go in there and like gangbusters, and came out with the victory.
Well, it's pretty much how I saw the fight. I saw the fight as Lewis losing his cardio by the 2nd, 3rd round, which he did.
Yeah.
And Mark Hunt sitting back waiting because they both monsters with their hands. Mark being the better of the monsters. But I just figured that Mark wasn't gonna. I mean, he probably was gonna bang with him, but I don't think he was gonna really put himself in real danger.
Nah.
To, he waited that shit out, man, and it was the perfect game plan. It was the exact game plan I thought. If you go back to my Twitter, you look at my Twitter, I think in the 2nd round or 1st round, I said Lewis is going to gas, and sure enough, he gassed. But then he said he had back problems. So, I like, Derrick Lewis is one of them dudes to where I want to see him do good.
Right.
He lost a fight. I think over emotion-wise, he said something that he didn't really mean as far as, retiring or whatnot, and I totally get that. I'm happy for Mark Hunt. He's here to fight another day. I wouldn't want to see Mark Hunt gone from the heavyweight division, man. I think it would be boring without Mark Hunt.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
I just want to see I want to see him. It would be nice to see him get that last chance at a shot, man, because you just never know with that dude's hands. You know, his hands are every fucking thing, man. So, salute Mark Hunt. I like Mark Hunt. You know, he's one of the dudes that's, you know, he's a fighter. He's what's right about MMA. And salute Derrick Lewis, man, for taking his L like a G. Congrats to him, you know, as far as him getting married. You know, I don't know if it's this weekend or, you know, whenever it is, but congrats to him. And I thought, you know, I'm not going to leave this out. And I thought that Travis Brown was a little bitch for coming out saying that whole ass shit after you got knocked out by Derrick Lewis. Like, he knocked you out.
So, right, man. He waits until
until
he loses.
You wait till this dude lose before you all of a sudden come out the blue and just say this little slick ass shit.
Man.
Like, dog, you a sucker for that, man. You a straight sucker for that, man. You look like you sucker stroking over there with Ronda Rousey, man. With your big ass tree trunk legs, and you know, I used to like, what's his name, Hoofer?
Yes.
Hopper?
Yeah. Hopper.
Yeah, I used to think he was cool. Man. I used to fuck with him, man. But then he started training with Edmund and dating Ronda. Look at him now.
Right.
What has happened to you since, huh?
Right, man.
Mm-hmm. You done went from sugar to shit real quick. And why would you challenge that dude to a rematch when he knocked you the fuck out? Like, he knocked you the fuck out.
Like knocked you out.
And then, and then Derrick Lewis was like, yeah, I want that fine ass Ronda Rousey. Like, he talked shit about your woman after he knocked you out.
Yeah, and you didn't say shit until now.
You said what?
And he didn't say shit until now.
And you ain't say shit until now. How am I gonna respect you? How we gonna respect you? Come on, Travis. You know. You want to talk shit after he loses. You know, like, come on, man. That's some sucker shit, man. Real G's don't do that shit.
Right.
You know, if you gonna lose with dignity and still be on your G shit. Don't wait until a motherfucker's in a bold position to talk your shit. You can take an L and still be talking your shit. You took an L and was quiet for months. I can't fuck with that, dude. That's not cool. That's not being a G. That's being an ass clown, as my boy Chris Jericho would say.
Definitely. On some good news over in the Bellator world, they just signed up both Mauro Ranallo and Mike Goldberg to become on the announced team.
Mauro Ranallo and Goldberg, come on down. Yeah, that's right. We are welcoming the next contestants to Bellator MMA. That's what the fuck I'm talking about, man. As you can see, I'm more privy to Bellator because I have friends over there that love V and V loves them. So I don't know if people are really paying attention, but guess what? Bellator is starting to look like Strikeforce 2.0.
Dude, yes.
It's starting to look. It's looking way better than when Bjorn was there.
Man.
And it just proves Scott Coker's genius. And in my opinion, and this is my opinion, Scott Coker is a way better president than Dana White. Way better. And the thing I like about Scott Coker, he's professional. You never see him on no Hollywood shit. Every time I've seen him, he's showing me love. He treats, like, you've never heard a fighter. Think about this. You've heard fighters come out and say whole ass shit about Dana White.
Right.
You've heard a lot of fighters come out. You've never heard one bad thing ever about Scott Coker.
Right.
Even Rampage, you know, when all his stuff was going on with the lawsuits and da-da-da-da-da, and Bjorn had promised him this, and he didn't really know Scott Coker, but as time went on and he came back to Bellator, he was like, you know what, Scott Coker is cool. So for Rampage to say that, you know, Rampage don't give it up. You know what I'm saying? He gave it up to Scott Coker members. You don't hear nobody saying nothing bad about Scott Coker, man. And when I go, when I'm at Bellator events, every fighter that is fighting for Bellator are genuinely happy. It's the same thing when he had Strikeforce. I remember, look, this is real shit right here. I'm about to break some history down to y'all right now.
Do it.
I can remember when I went to go see Mo fight, and this is around the time, like me and Mo, we were friends, but this is when I first, you know, I took a road trip to Cincinnati to see him fight Roger Gracie. And this is our first time meeting each other. We talk to each other, you know, a lot, but this is our first time meeting each other.
Yeah.
And right after he knocked out Gracie, and after the fights, he called me. He was like, man, meet me here. And I went back to his room, and in the lobby, I met Antonio Bigfoot Silva, and I met a fighter that was probably 4-5-0, either 4-0 or 5-0 at the time. That was extremely humble. Nobody knew who this dude was. All you knew is, damn, this dude just beat Antonio Silva.
Yeah.
Today he's the light heavyweight champion of the world, Dave Cormier. He was, you know, I'm talking about, I've never seen a fighter that genuinely, I'm talking about, you know, when you like doing some shit.
Right.
You know, I've never seen a fighter not being happy with Scott Coker. So that says a lot about what's going on over there. And, you know, y'all better start paying attention, man, because the game is changing. It is changing for the better. At least on the Bellator side. Can't say too much about UFC, but on the Bellator side, everything is looking great. And considering the fact that, hypothetically, Ronda never fights again. After Mayweather, Conor never fights again. Who is your star over there?
Right. Right. Like, who really is the star, man? And
who is the star? You're hoping a returning GSP can get you that love again, but a lot of fans have moved on from the GSP era. So new fans now will tune in and be like, who is GSP? Which is dumb. But new fans now will tune in not knowing what we know about GSP's history with the UFC. You know, so it's going to be some trying days for UFC real soon. And I've been saying this forever, especially since Scott Coker took over the reins from Bjorn. Bellator is not far away at all from being that organization. They're not far away. And keep this in mind as well. Every champion or number 1, 2, or third ranked contender that's over in UFC right now, those are all Scott Coker fighters.
Right.
Ronda Rousey's, the the Alistair Overeems, the Daniel Cormiers, the Teron Woodleys, the let's see here, the Luke Rockholds, the Jacareys, the we can go on and on. I just heard Damian Maia got hurt, but then you got Masvidal, but they offered Teron Woodley Masvidal. He's a Strikeforce fighter. Like Scott Coker fighters are the shit over in UFC right now because Dana inherited them fighters from purchasing Strikeforce, but those are Scott Coker signings.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, we ain't too far away from seeing a change in the game, and people are going to wonder what happened to UFC, and their fan base is going to trickle over. Well, they're trickling as we speak, man, because I'm telling you, you don't get rid of, Ranallo or Goldberg, man. Those that's like getting rid of Howard Cosell for Monday Night Football. I wouldn't be surprised when Joe Rogan contract ends, he's over at Bellator.
Right, yeah, that could happen.
Think about that.
That could happen.
That could fucking happen. So Scott Coker knows what he's doing. He's low key about it, and like I said, I'm glad I've been down. I'm so glad. Ain't nothing like walking to an event and they like, hey, what up, B? What's going on? Hey, yeah, you gotta hang. Yeah, you gotta hang out with me a little bit more, man. When Mo recover, man.
Oh.
I don't know what's going on as far as like what they'll offer him first, man. But you gotta come out of town, man, with me a little bit more, man. I think we'll have a blast.
And I was just thinking about that because I was like, when I go out to like, I've been to a couple UFC events and a couple Bellator events past year, and it's just like when you're just out in the crowd with the the regular like casual fans, going to those events are kind of annoying. I've come to realize it. Like everybody that I'm always seated around, I'm always just like just rolling my eyes the whole time. And I'm like, what? I don't know if I really want to go to another event live unless I have like a really sweet hookup. Like if I'm cage side or something. Like,
dude.
Because I don't know if I can take being around these other people, man. Like at these events, man, they're just too much.
It's the only way to go. Like if me and you, hypothetically, if we just was to buy some tickets, then it'd be me and you. We will enjoy it because we're on the same page.
Right.
Being down at cage side, like I can't even explain. I've been. Like I'm generally cage side for all the events, whether I'm with Mo, being a part of the team as far as cornering him, and if I'm not doing that, then I'm always somewhere close proximity, because you're still part of the team, you're just in a different area.
Yeah.
For me, it's a little different now because I haven't been like the whole fan shit for a minute that it's like, wow, I might get mad. I'm like, man, I ain't used to this shit, man. What? I've gotten spoiled a little bit. So it's totally different.
Yeah, I don't know if you can handle it up in the upper bowl or lower bowl in those places, man, with those people up there, man. Oh God.
Yeah, I know, but you know what? I mean, the cool thing is I know some people there, and they always make it cool for me, man. So
I legit when I went to the UFC, what was that? 209 in Buffalo. There was times when I literally had to go get out of my seat and go walk around because I had to get away from the people I was sitting around.
Oh yeah. See, and that's the thing, man. Like, somebody recently just came out and said MMA fans are stupid, and I totally agree with them. Who the fuck said that?
Dude, even Demetrius Johnson said that in his rant.
Yes, that's who it was. What was it? Who was it? DJ?
Yeah, it was DJ that said that.
Like, he's so fucking. He's right. He's right. He's right. And I think when people read that, they may take that shit to heart, like you talking about me. If you understand the sport, and if you understand, like, I've always looked at the fighter. You have to look at it from a fighter's perspective. And when you're not looking at it from a fighter's perspective, when you're not understanding the rules, and when you're just there just to see some old movie shit or some clown shit, he's right. He's 100% fucking right. It's the worst, like one of the worst things in the world when you're passionate about something, and then you got somebody on the side of you who don't have a fucking clue, but yet they want to act like they know what the fuck's going on. It's like, shut the fuck up. You have no clue. It's like, I'm back on my boy Walter. Shut the fuck up, Donnie. You out of your fucking element. That's how I feel when, you know, I talk to these people, because it's like, man, what the fuck are you talking about, man? You know, are you? I've sat next to people and they said slick shit about Mo, and I look at them, and then they keep going on and on. I'm like, dog, shut the fuck up. You don't know this dude. You don't know. So shut the fuck up. Well, who are you? I'm the Mo police, damn it. You know, you have to tell them shit like that. You know,
right,
but
man.
MMA fans are, they stupid. Like, Kelly, me and you talking, we on the same page, because this is the shit that we enjoy. So,
right.
You know, we sit back and we look at shit from a different perspective. And that's what I have to explain to people, you know. Like, I don't look at it from a fan's perspective. Like, when I'm looking at a fight, I'm looking at a fight like I'm judging the fight. Like, I'm really, okay, yeah, that was a clean shot. Oh, yeah, he got that round. You know, I'm judging it just like you are. You're judging that round.
Right.
The typical person is like, knock him out. I'm like, man, shut up, dude. Shut the fuck up. Do you know what goes into a knockout? Is this not?
Or like booing them when they're in the clinch.
I hate that.
Or all that.
I hate that.
Oh.
I hate it. That shit bothers the fuck out of me. Like, why are you booing?
Right, man.
Right. Like, are you fucking kidding? Wrestling is a part of MMA, dumbass. You know, or when you know somebody's style is the exact opposite of another person's style, so that person is not trying to get caught up in that. Like, nobody wants to see Damian Maia, or, you know, with jiu-jitsu. You don't want to see that. So you're going to do everything you can do to avoid that shit.
Right.
But the typical motherfucker not going to understand that, because they think all the motherfucker doing is laying on the person. Or this, that, and the other. It's like, wow, you're a fucking douche, man. You have no fucking clue, man. No fucking clue. And, you know, I can't remember a time where I was that person. You know, now we're all blue when we come into something new for the first time.
Yeah.
But from day one, I was a sponge. I wanted to know, like, there's nothing like looking at a fight, whether it be boxing or MMA or even professional wrestling. I think because they all together. But if I wanted to be a fucking announcer, I could announce a fucking fight because I can articulate what's going on in that cage or in that boxing ring or in that square circle when you're talking about wrestling. Most of these people can't do that shit. You can do it because you know what you're looking at. Some people don't know a headlock from a Kimura. And it's just bad, man. But yeah, DJ is speaking of DJ, what do you think? What's your take on what went down with him and Dana?
That is so weird. See, Dana did something that he's done before, where at one time he was like, "Oh man, he's the
pound for pound, number one fighter in the world."
But now that he's kind of going against them, like Dana's like changing his mind, going, "Oh no, he's not."
Conor McGregor's number one. He'll fight anybody.
Like, come on, man. Like, That,
Exactly.
that's so fake, man. From Dane.
And this is why I love you, Kelly, because you be on the same, we be on the same shit. But go ahead.
No, it's so fake, man. The moment that DJ starts coming out and talking about what he doesn't like and everything, and actually saying all the stuff that makes sense about it, that is against what Dana White's all about. All of a sudden, he wants to change his tune and be like, it's like Dana White's being like a woman or something, like a bad girlfriend, you know?
Yeah. Do as I say. But to me, the same dude that he always was, man.
Right.
Do as I do as I say and not as I do. He's that type guy. And those type of bosses are the worst bosses. Because imagine, like, this is how I look at life. Either you're a boss or you got a boss. But hypothetically, you're a boss, and you say, hey, I need you to go over there and pick up them chairs and place them against the wall. You'll do that because you know your boss that just asked you to do that is doing it with you. It's all about setting the examples.
Right.
And if you're not setting the examples for your fighters, and your fighter go out and do something, and then you do the same shit, but yet you want to crucify this dude over here for doing it. It's like, wait a minute, motherfucker, you just called this female a douche on Twitter. See, I think you know this. I talk about this shit a lot, but Dana just be on some bullshit, man. He be on some whole ass shit, man. And it shouldn't be. I'm still, you know where I'm gonna go with this, but I'm still mad about that other shit. But Dana he just don't be right, man. It's like if you on his good side, then he love you to death. But if you on his bad side, oh my God, man. How does a person like DJ ever get on anybody's bad side?
Right. Like,
I've never met this dude ever, but he's probably the most likable guy that you see on television.
Right. He's been
more MMA wise.
Yeah, he's been like a total company man this whole time. He's
complete.
making history, and he wants to. It's so frustrating. Be like, yo, this guy's making history right now, and you want to mess with him and everything. Shit.
Yeah, but kind of about to make $100 million boxing, but you want to dog DJ out about some whole ass shit, man. How about doing right by your people? How about not offering your friends title shots when they've never fought in the flyweight division? Dana would have a way better argument had this dude ever had a fight in the flyweight division. He has never fought in the flyweight division. So why the fuck, if I was DJ, I would feel the same way, man. I would feel the same way, man. It's just some bullshit. It's just some straight bullshit.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving to the world of pro wrestling. One of your favorite pro wrestlers, Johnny Mundo, just got engaged to fellow Lucha Underground wrestler Taya Valkyrie.
Wait a minute. You said Johnny Mundo. Are we talking about my boy?
Yeah. John Morrison.
What's his name? Yes! That dude.
Yeah, he just got engaged with fellow Lucha Underground star Taya Valkyrie.
Is he still champion over there?
Yeah.
Or was he champion last season?
No.
Or he's still champion?
No, he's still champion. They just came back. Tonight was as we're recording this. Tonight was their third episode back. I'm not sure what happened tonight, but the first two episodes, he was having they actually had 2 weeks of fights with him against the Mac. The first week it was basically well, they kept on calling it an all night long match, but they're gonna fight as long as the show goes on, and whoever gets the most pinfalls wins and is the new champion. But at the end of the show, they both were tied at 2 pinfalls each. So the next week, they continued it with a basically all sudden death, all falls count anywhere match between him and the Mac, and Johnny Mundo ended up winning. But he's still the champion in Lucha Underground.
I think the WWE dropped the ball by letting that talented guy go.
Oh,
and
definitely.
He's one of my favorite dudes, man. Man, Marshall was man. Whew, the shit. I'm glad he's having success over there in Luchador. Good for him. I'm gonna have to catch up on the Luchador program. I haven't seen it in a minute, but I'm glad he's champion over there. And matter of fact, I'm gonna download some shit tonight so I could tune into it in the morning.
And before we close out this week's podcast, this weekend is the Money in the Bank pay-per-view from WWE. We got a bunch of stuff happening. We got the rematch between Jinder Mahal and Randy Orton. And then we have the
I am the true Maharaja. Go ahead.
And then we have the Money in the Bank ladder match between Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, and Shinsuke Nakamura. And then we have the tag team title match between the Usos versus the New Day. And then we have the women's Money in the Bank ladder match between Becky Lynch, Charlotte, Natalya, Tamina, and Carmella. And then we have a SmackDown women's match between Naomi and Lana.
How the fuck did Lana even, are you fucking kidding me? Have we ever even seen her in a wrestling match? How the fuck
you
get a...
That's gonna be a shit show.
Horrible. Unless Lana titties pop out or she's showing some ass, nobody cares. Nobody fucking cares, man. Look, I'm gonna save the WWE some real time right now. Go ahead and give that woman's title to the greatest woman wrestler out today, and not that broad over on Raw. But we're talking about Charlotte Flair.
I know where that shade. I know where that shade was pointed at, and I don't appreciate you besmirching the name of Alexa Bliss.
Oh my God, Alexa! Miss me with Alexa Bliss. Oh.
But that's on Raw. This is a SmackDown pay-per-view. We'll see. It'll probably end up being Charlotte that wins the Money in the Bank. That would be fun if she did.
It makes sense. She should have been the first dual champ. She should have been the first Raw, SmackDown Women's Champion. Not Alexa Bliss. She didn't even pay no dues. I'm hoping that AJ Styles wins, but I think they go screwing again.
Right, and and since I'm not sure who's gonna win this Money in the Bank, because on SmackDown this week they had Shinsuke, go up there and grab it. So that's usually indication that he's not gonna win.
Oh, indeed.
So we'll see. I don't know. I think AJ Styles might actually. But then again, man, I don't know where it's gonna be weird seeing who wins this Money in the Bank, because we also have this thing kind of lurking around of John Cena coming back as a quote unquote free agent, and I'm I'm not sure where that's going to head. If that's gonna, if he's gonna just be somebody who goes on both shows, what does that mean against the?
That's the rumor that he's gonna be able to go through both shows.
And what does that mean for his his you know, is he gonna be a part of the title picture? Which title is he gonna be going? I don't know. We'll see about what that actually means, but.
You know what? I don't even care. You know, the only thing I care about, oh, John Cena sucks. John Cena sucks. And you know what? To be 100 with you, I like John Cena.
Right.
I like John Cena because no matter what you want to say, that dude elevated that United States title back to some shit that was meaningful.
Oh yeah.
He has great matches all the time. He never has a bold ass match. So I like John Cena, but I think the John Cena that I grew up with was, you know, the Word Life dude. You know, the dude.
Right.
You know, the dude that would come to that will walk to the ring and freestyle off the top. The dude that recorded with my brother Bumpy Knuckles, you know, doing Mr. T shit, the A-Team shit, video. That's the John Cena that I like. And John Cena got bars, man. Don't ever think that motherfucker can't spit, because I've been told stories. I've heard shit. I've heard records that ain't never been released by John Cena that he recorded, you know, for his first album. I've heard shit that ain't been released, courtesy of my dude Bump. And he got skills, man. So, you know, I genuinely like John Cena, man. But I just think his character sucks as far as, like, you know, not sucks as in, like, I don't like the Fruity Pebbles colors. I don't like all that corny shit, man. But you can't deny that, you know, when he's wrestling, you're gonna have a 4 or 5 star match. I like, and more importantly, I love what he do for kids, man. He's done more Make-A-Wish appearances than anybody,
right,
that you can think of.
And I read this,
and that's from.
And I read this quote from him before, kind of answering people who says that he buries talent, and he said, and his response to that was, he's like, when I do programs with these this younger talent, I let them do anything that they want with me, and we elevate each other at the same time. The problem is, after we get done with that program, they don't know how to move on, or they feel too comfortable in what they and what happened during that time, and they never evolve past that. So it looks like I'm burying them, but the problem is, once I kind of step away from it, they don't do anything to progress.
I agree with that.
Oh, definitely.
You know, you're not gonna make or break John Cena. You know, John Cena is gonna be John Cena regardless. Wrestlers don't know how to. They don't know how to. You know, he's right. They don't know how to move forward after. You know, having, you know, a segment with John, and that's not his responsibility, because he's going to move on to what he's supposed to do next. You know, good dude, man. I respect his ability, man. I don't like the character, but I definitely love and respect what he do. You know, as far as these kids out here, that's number one for me.
Word, definitely. All right, that's about it for this week's Fresh of the Word. Vstylez, tell them where they can find you online.
Yeah, y'all can reach me at Twitter /Vstylez, VSTYLEZ. Same exact thing with the Facebook, Facebook and Instagram, /VSTYLEZ. You can also hit me up on my official verified page at Official Vstylez, Facebook.com/Official Vstylez, VSTYLEZ. And, hit me up. Let's talk. Let's have a little fun. Let's get some dialogue, real honest shit, man. And if any of you fucks out there think that Conor has a chance, just, come up with a number. Make it light on yourself. I'm not here to, I don't want to take your whole check or whatever you got, man, but I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to bet shit that I ain't got. That's how confident that I am. I'm confident that there is no chance in hell that Conor pulls this off. If Conor pulls this shit off, he instantly becomes probably one of the greatest fighters of all time.
Oh, definitely. All right, that's about it. All right, bye.
Peace out, my people.
Fresh is the word.